Brought to you by the Asombro Institute for Science Education.
Welcome to the Desert Data Jam. The Asombro Institute for Science Education will be visiting your classes over the next several weeks to work on this fun project. You'll not only be completing an assignment for your class, but you'll also be submitting your project to a competition where you can win cash prizes.
What is a data jam? It's a creative project that explains a data trend to an audience that's not familiar with the topic. It's important for scientific findings to be communicated in ways that anyone can understand.
To do this, you'll first choose one of the datasets desert scientists have already collected. You will not be collecting your own data like a science fair project. Then you'll identify a data trend and make a project to communicate your data trend in a creative way.
Here's an example from several years ago. This student used a data set about precipitation from 1980 to 2010. She identified a data trend that the total precipitation has been steadily decreasing, but there is a lot of variation from year to year. This student was a dancer and wanted to include dance in her creative project that shows the data trend. She took a series of photos where the height of her leg in a leg lift represents the amount of precipitation each year. 1 inch of her leg lift represented 1 centimeter of precipitation.
To compete in the Data Jam competition, you'll make a creative project and a trifold board. The top projects from each class will advance to judging in the final competition.
The first place project gets $300. The second place project gets $200, and the third place project gets $100. We'll also give prizes for honorable mentions and door prizes you can win just for submitting your project.
Your board will have 9 sections. Some will be a sentence long, and others will require a paragraph. Your board will be 70% of your total score. You'll also submit a creative project, which makes up the other 30% of your score.
We'll be here to help by visiting your class several times. Between each class visit, you'll have instructions for pieces of the project to complete on your own.
Your teacher will set the due date for your project.
All projects must be submitted for judging by April 23rd to compete for prizes. We'll judge all the projects and announce the winners during an award ceremony on April 25th.
Your first steps are to choose who you will work with and what dataset you will use. You may work in groups of up to 3 students. You may also choose to work alone if you prefer. Next, your group must choose one of the datasets to work with. All the information you need for your Data Jam project can be found on one of the colored papers in your folder. We call these the 2-pagers. Your first dataset option is about decomposition rates. In this study, scientists leave packets of leaf litter, or dead leaves, outside for years. Each year they collect some of the packets and weigh them to see how much matter remains. We have data from this experiment in Las Cruces, Alaska, and Costa Rica. The next dataset is about dust emissions in the air in Las Cruces. On windy days, a lot of dust and sediment get blown up into the air. Dust collectors all over town capture the dust, and scientists measure the total dust each season. This dataset includes data from 4 middle schools in Las Cruces.
The next dataset is about wildlife in 2 desert habitats, grasslands and shrublands. Scientists monitored wildlife in each habitat using motion detector cameras. The last dataset is about 2 different types of cattle, Angus Hereford crossbreeds and Raramuri Criollo. Scientists put GPS tracking collars and thermometers on the cows and monitored their behavior and body temperatures as they moved around 2 pastures. They are trying to determine if one type of cow might be better able to avoid heat stress during hot summers in the Southwest.
Choose your groups and your dataset now and answer questions 1 and 2 in your Data Jam workbook. Welcome to Desert Data Jam. We can't wait to get started.